The old train station stood cloaked in shadows. It was a hulking silhouette against the dying light. Dust motes danced in the pale beams filtering through grimy windows. The air hung heavy, thick with the smell of dampness and decay. A lone figure hurried across the echoing expanse, his footsteps the only sound in the stillness. He was a traveler, weary from a long journey. He clutched his worn leather bag, his eyes scanning the timetable. The last train of the night, it seemed. A shiver ran down his spine as he noticed the almost illegible sign on the platform's edge. It was a warning, barely visible in the gloom. Final destination. Nowhere, it proclaimed in faded, peeling paint. An unsettling sensation crept over him, a prickle of unease. He dismissed it as fatigue, the product of a long day. He had to get home. This train was his only option. The platform was deserted, the silence broken only by the distant rumble of thunder. He checked his watch, almost midnight. Where was everyone? A low whistle pierced the air, making him jump. Through the swirling mist, a spectral light appeared in the distance. It grew steadily brighter, resolving itself into the single glaring eye of an approaching train. The train screeched to a halt, its brakes groaning like a beast in pain. The traveler hesitated, a sense of foreboding washing over him. The only door that hissed open revealed a shadowy figure in a conductor's uniform. His face was hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. "Last stop," the conductor rasped, his voice a low growl. "Get on board, you'll never leave." His words sent a chill down the traveler's spine. He wanted to turn back, to run, but the train was here and he was expected. He stepped inside, the door slamming shut behind him with a finality that made his heart pound. Section 4. Trapped. The train car was empty, the only light a flickering bulb overhead. The traveler sank into a seat, clutching his bag close. He waited and waited. The train didn't move. He went to the door, his hand reaching for the handle. It wouldn't budge. Locked. Panic welled up inside him. He hammered on the door, his cries for help swallowed by the silence. He was trapped. The windows were like black mirrors, reflecting nothing but his own terror. The train lurched, a sudden, violent movement. He stumbled back, his eyes wide with fear. Section 5. Fading away. The train began to move, not with the rumble of an engine, but with an eerie silence. The scenery outside the windows was a blur, an indistinguishable rush of darkness. The air grew cold, biting at his skin. He felt himself growing weaker, his eyelids heavy. He fought to stay awake, but the darkness was relentless, pulling him under. The train, the conductor, the station, they all began to fade. He was alone in the suffocating blackness, his last conscious thought a desperate plea for rescue. Section 6. The Whistle. The next morning, the police found his car abandoned near the old train station. The doors were unlocked, his belongings untouched. No sign of a struggle, no indication of where he might have gone. The station master, an old man with eyes that held too much knowledge, simply shook his head. Final destination. Nowhere, he muttered to himself, his voice barely audible. He took the last train. Some say that on certain nights, when the wind is high and the moon is full, you can still hear the mournful wail of a train whistle echoing through the old station. A phantom echo of a journey with no end. A chilling reminder of the traveler who boarded a train and was never seen again. The train to nowhere had claimed another soul.